Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking about creating cinematic sequences in your wedding film. So let's get started. Okay, so when I say cinematic sequences, you probably have something already in mind about what that looks like, but I think I'm going a little bit more simplistic than what you think. So I'm not thinking crazy transitions with whoosh noises and zoom in and zoom out, all of that. So how I'm defining this is creating a sequence that looks like it is one fluid scene or something happening in real time that you have several different angles of, just like they would in the movies. Like if someone is walking down the sidewalk having a conversation with somebody else, they're going to cut from different angles, but it's going to be one shot, one scene, one actual real thing happening. Rather than what I typically do in my wedding films is it's almost just like moving pictures. Like here's a thing they're doing, and here's a totally unrelated shot with another thing that they're doing. Lots of jump cuts, which I'm totally cool with jump cuts. I use them in my videos. I'm going to continue to use them, but I've seen a couple things in my videos I did almost on accident that turned out to be more like cinematic sequences that I think were some of the best parts of the video, but they're really subtle. They're things I really appreciate, but I think I'm going to try to incorporate more. So if you watch my wedding film, you're going to be like, Jordan, you rarely, if ever, do this, but I think I've seen a couple instances that I really like, and now I'm going to start to try to use them more. So here are just two quick, very simple examples that I'm going to try to build off of. So here's the first example. So in this particular sequence, they're walking towards the camera, and then the next shot is them walking towards their friends from behind, almost as if it was just one fluid motion as they were walking forward, and then they were walking into their friends that whole time. Now, that wasn't done perfectly. I wasn't trying or thinking to do that. I just got the angle from the front and then I got behind them, because you can kind of tell they're in two different settings. They're probably 10 to 15 feet difference between when I was in front of them to behind them, so they got out of that tall grass and then went towards the house in the barn. But that's just more of a cinematic sequence where it is just one fluid shot. So I could build off of that, get more angles, maybe have them walk and then stop, and then I can go ahead and get behind them or a shot of their feet, maybe have the glide cam down low to the ground, maybe get a medium shot, maybe profile, to get some different angles so that I can edit them together to make it seem like this is one fluid scene of them talking and walking and then going to see all their friends who are waiting for them. So that's almost just like a scene, a cinematic scene that you would see. So here's example number 2. Okay, so this one's super simple again. I just had one shot with the glide cam and the camera down low, hanging upside down, getting their feet, and as they were walking, the next shot was them in front, a wider shot walking forward. Now I could have really gotten a few more shots of that to create a sequence like that, maybe had them interact a bit more. But that's the idea that I'm thinking, is that that looked like one fluid shot. Now that one again wasn't perfect, because when I did that low shot, I did that when they were a good 50 feet down that path there and they were by a building, and in that second shot you can see there was no kind of building that would have been right to their left as they were walking. So there's some continuity issues there, but I'm just thinking about what I could do in the future with these types of shots. I can get several different angles, make it seem like I had more than one camera. I am a single camera, single shooter, so I can only get one angle at a time, but I can work it so that I can get several different angles and then edit them together to make it look like a cinematic fluid sequence. I think a practical way to use this that's probably the easiest and the best way to start out for me is to do those types of walking shots where they're walking and talking and getting different angles of that. And then maybe I can also get some shots of them maybe doing like a move, like a dip or something, and have them do it 2 or 3 times so that I can get different angles. Okay, now when it comes to these cinematic sequences, you are not going to be able to use these all the time because they're going to take some time. You're going to need to get from spot to spot, maybe have a couple stop or redo some things. Now you're working with a photographer who wants to get her photos or his photos, and you're also working against the clock because there is a time crunch most of the time when you're out getting these shots with the couple. So most of the time I'm probably not going to have time to get all these different angles, but I think having 1 or 2 of these types of things within each of your films is really going to help tell the story, because if you have just a lot of different, moving pictures essentially like I talked about before, it doesn't really lend itself as much to the story, because you just see here's a shot, here's a shot, here's a shot. They're a bit disconnected, they're all different. but when you're telling a story, you want one fluid scene that seems like you're just watching things play out as they happen, just like a movie. I think that'll really lend itself well to the storytelling and even just the emotional connection people are gonna have with those particular shots. Those are just some thoughts. I don't know, maybe it won't work out like I think it will, but maybe it's something that you can try out, try to get several different angles with your camera if you're a single camera shooter, and then try to edit them together to get some really cool sequences. I think it's worth a shot. If it doesn't work out with the time constraints, fine, you can still make an awesome wedding film. I mean, that's what I've been doing every wedding film. I haven't really been thinking about creating these types of things, so maybe in the future it can help you out, and I'm gonna try to implement them in mine. So hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any thoughts, any ideas of different types of sequences that we can create in our wedding films. Let's all come together and try to put together some awesome films for our clients, our customers, because it's about them. It's not about us. These films are not for us. It is for the customers. So we're gonna make something really cool for them. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like this video, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I have a lot more videos like this on the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.